Hello, everyone. So, for this one, I'm going to talk about why we play games and why we collect was a video I did a little while ago when I was dealing with a lot of the kind of questions about what is going on in the collecting kind of sphere of all of this. But I'm going to be talking more about the actual game element of all of this, which is an element that I feel like is going by the wayside in many games. And it's unfortunate, it's kind of sad, but let's talk about it. So, in my time growing up, I played a lot of Pokemon, played a lot of Yu Gi Oh!, a hell of a lot of Yu Gi Oh! Pokemon came in a little bit later, never did anything competitive or anything like that. MTG then came later, and now my new game is Sorcery that I'm interested in, and Shardbugs if it ever comes to the UK, which I'm informed by some very good sources in the comments section, which should be here, I guess. The It's probably coming to the UK, so very, very good news. TCGs are just in general now so pumped and so ridiculously hyped or underhyped. It's either failing or it's succeeding, and it's kind of ridiculous because a lot of it is based on the metrics of collectability, how collectible the thing is seen to be, and it's never based on anything to do with any reality aside from like maybe vague kind of, I don't know, vague sentiment would be one word for it. So it's just like when I'm looking at the situation and I'm looking at all of these TCGs, One Piece, Pokemon, all of these. Some of them I'm closer to than others. Some of them I don't really care about. I'm just kind of looking at them and I'm going, well, you're making value judgments based on one element of all of this, and that element is how collectible it is, how much money you can reap from the people who are playing it or who are interested in it, and how much you can make for your exclusive cardboard. And to tell you the truth, that's not how I view this hobby at all. Again, I'm a person who's sold some Pokemon cards to get some money, and I kind of wish I'd kept them at this point because some of them brought me like some happiness, some of them didn't. But the card game always stays the same, no matter what. No matter what we are doing, no matter how much we sell, no matter how much we buy, unless, cards are being scraped from the card game itself, which unfortunately is happening with some of the TCGs in huge volumes, then there is no kind of threat to what we're doing. As players of the game, then, we are happy to play with trash cards. We are happy to play with non-foil cards. We're happy to play with cards that otherwise wouldn't be seen as interesting. But when we are seeing such extreme levels of scalping and, people buying and taking everything that they possibly can, the situation becomes different, doesn't it? Because all of those bulk cards will be thrown in the bin. We can't play the game if there are no game pieces, if you will, available. And we can't do anything to fix the situation at all if we're not offered the chance to. So, in the end, we're looking at a situation where there is no result in all of this for a lot of the bigger TCGs where we'll actually have an accessible point of entry. So, from that perspective, this collectability or collectible market has completely ruined everything. there is not a lot that we can do to fix any of this, is there? So in the end, we are effectively being priced out of the TCG market. Now, I play games for a number of reasons. The biggest one is not to win. Because again, I'm not even saying that as a sort of counterpoint kind of thing. I genuinely don't enjoy when I win and I don't understand why I won. Like, genuinely, I don't see the point in playing a game and winning if there is no joy to it, if there is no back and forth, if it's just very flat. To the point where, quite often, if I'm losing, um, I'm having more fun because I'm having to bat the enemy back. And the result of that is a better game, a better experience. Unless, of course, it's the opposite end of things and I'm feeling trounced and beaten and completely like I couldn't recover, which does happen a lot in games like Yu-Gi-Oh!, which does happen a lot in games like Pokemon. Like, when you are losing very hard usually. But I play these games because they interest me, because they are fun, because they're enjoyable, because they're an interesting thing to do with my time on this planet. But the rest of it, the rest of the group that are trying to exploit the games that we love, and I will say exploit, they never will touch the game. They'll never play it. More than likely, they have never even heard of some of the characters that they're selling, and they are going to hoard the cards that they want, bin the cards they don't want, which means that all of those pieces that could have been played with are now no longer available. And yeah, that sucks, because it means that people are not going to actually be able to play. And you can do that for a little while. Like, a very little while, actually. Pokemon's got away with it for a couple of years at this point, that it's been this kind of bad. But after a while, the sentiment changes and people say, I'm not playing. You'll see numbers drop off, not just with Pokemon, with all different TCGs. You'll see numbers drop off. People will get frustrated. People will try new games. People will step out of the hobby. They will go somewhere else. They'll play board games, maybe play video games. There's plenty of video games out there. They'll play all different kinds of things, and none of them will be your TCG. And I've made this point to death, but it bears repeating. You cannot continue to feed scalpers and feed the collector community, who are not really collectors. They're resellers, and resellers are a mixed bag, let's just say. So in the end, we end up with a situation that is, it's not gonna be sustainable for anybody. It's not going to be sustainable for us. It's not going to be sustainable for these companies. And there will come a time where there will be a generation that is lost and they won't play anymore. They won't engage anymore. They won't do any of this anymore because they can't afford to, or the cards are just not available. And the longer that you leave that, the longer that you make it so that things are just unobtainable, completely unobtainable, the longer that things just continue to get worse. And when things continue to get worse, people notice and say, "Oh my God, you don't want to go near Pokemon. It's real scary over there right now." And they do. They talk. People have opinions. People have views, like myself, like other people, and they say, "Well, getting in a Pokemon right now is not a cheap prospect. It's not a easily available prospect. It's not a prospect you can really achieve. You can't just buy a booster pack anymore." And not just because of the price, because they don't exist. Retailers are snapping them up, and of course the scalpers then buy them all, literally in bulk. and then they resell them immediately. Or the biggest thing right now is that retailers, even Amazon, bigger retailers like Amazon, they're not available. So you cannot get access to these cards to play your game. And that is going to kill hobbies. That is going to kill all of these things that we do. Now, restocks are always rumored. We're going to get more. Don't worry, we're going to get more. No, it doesn't matter. Because now is now, and the next set is coming out in a few months. Always coming out in a few months, no matter the TCG. Save for sorcery. There's a couple of TCGs that don't have the monthly release schedule, but yeah. In general, like, yeah, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss the whole event, effectively. And when you do, people will say, well, what's the point in me doing any of this anymore? What's the point in me playing this anymore? As is, there is a huge bleed through of people who will leave TCGs, leave the hobby, and leave all of this behind, because that's the nature of people. They dip into a thing, they try the thing, they don't like the thing, or they do like the thing, or they find it too expensive and they say, maybe another time, and then they go somewhere else and do something else. It's the conveyor belt. It's what Wizards of the Coast thrives on. It's what Pokemon thrives on. Like I said, I've been a signpost to get many kids into playing Pokemon for many years, and it's worked. Kids come in, they play, they enjoy the game, but I do question where all of this is heading. Because you can't have a kid wander up and get a booster pack now. They don't exist. There are no decks for them to buy. They're going to be playing with the store bulk, and that's it. That's the only choice that they will have. And that means they're playing with cards that are, yes, fun, but what if your local LGS doesn't have bulk? What if your local LGS doesn't like kids playing with their cards? It's the whole hobby scene right now is it's pretty dire for TCGs, especially the big three. And I do worry about the future of it. I worry that people are not going to be able to... They're not going to be able to replace all of the old farts like myself, who will inevitably just go somewhere else or play something else. Technically, I've abandoned Yu-Gi-Oh! When I go to Sorcery. Technically, I've abandoned Pokemon, even though I taught it for many years. I taught kids how to play it for many years. I taught people how to do it for, how to play. I've taught adults how to play so that they can then go on and teach kids how to play. Like, I see it, and I see the writing on the wall. It's not good writing. It reads fucked in in very fancy text, I'm sure. In the end, I do worry that all of this is going to come crashing down. And when it does, Pokemon is just going to be real sorry. Like, they're going to have enough money. They're going to have, like, more than enough money. And it's fine. It's whatever. But it won't last forever. And this continuous oscillating between boom and bust is just going to kill any kind of fan sentiment. You can only wiggle Pikachu along for so long. Again, this isn't about Pokemon alone. This is about all of TCGs, all of the actual playing of the games, and how we enjoy games. How we enjoy games and how we play games, and all of this is being affected by the collectible market, by the people who are quite happy to take advantage. And I'm kind of sick of pretending. Oh, I'm not pretending. I'll tell you exactly how it is. Exactly how I see it anyway. I'm tired of people pretending that it isn't impacting the hobbies that they love. That it isn't affecting the things that they love. Because it is. You can have money and you can keep the hobby healthy at the same time. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You don't have to completely financially decimate, the whole scene and make it so that it's impossible to get cards in order to get some kind of profit. But of course, it isn't people who are interested in the TCGs or anything like that. It's people who are interested in money. It's people who are seeing what's going on in other card games, particularly Pokemon, and saying, well, I got to get mine, I got to get mine. And this will all go bust. And people say, well, I don't know if it'll go bust. It will go bust. It always goes bust. Pokemon Mania always goes bust. Like, goes bust. It just always does. And it comes and goes and comes and goes. And in the end, it will go. And people will be stuck holding crap tons of product that is worthless. A lot of people are going to get hurt, as I've said before. But the biggest concern that I've got right now is that right now there is a huge amount of people who are just constantly saying, this is going to make money, this is going to make money. And not enough people saying, should this make money? Not enough people saying, are we right to make money? Like, you can make money in many different ways. Just, my issue is always, just stay out of the TCGs. Like, it's too late for that, obviously. But I know that so many TCGs are going to go under because of this. And this is the main point. Like, just playing the game is impossible for so many of these TCGs. For the big, well, actually, two of the big three. Mostly Pokemon, though. Magic is kind of Magic's got quite a good availability and bulks everywhere. People sell bulk everywhere. It's not so much of a concern for Magic, but it is a big concern for Pokemon. And I just think that in the end, people who are saying like there's unlimited money in these TCGs, it's not true. It's not gonna last forever, and I don't know. I'm just warning. I guess I'm just fruitlessly warning people and saying, look, just stop. There is no. This literally cannot go on forever. Might burst today, might burst in 10 years, might burst tomorrow. Who knows? But in general, like the harm that it's doing to us as players of the game is kind of unbelievable. And I just worry. I worry that this is not sustainable. In fact, I know it's not sustainable, and it just kind of scares me because I'm like, I've never seen such greed, such swarming greed around TCGs, and swarms kind of dissipate when everybody's had their piece, and what's left in the middle will probably be just a carcass of all of these TCGs that have been hit. And there's reports of Naruto is going down. The value of Naruto is completely tanked, according to rumors. Flesh and Blood is dead, from what I can see, or like has it's effectively like most of the fans are gone. Nobody's playing on the kitchen table. Nobody's playing at LGSs or anything like that. And my friend has confirmed that now, our local LGS. So yeah, it's like, it's just really concerning behavior trends that like, it just strikes me as it's not gonna be good in the end. So yeah, that'll do for this one. Thank you for watching.